It's been a long time since I've put a YouTube video up, and I think the reason for the lapse will become obvious if you manage to plough through this bit of video. In 2023, at the ripe old age of 76, I decided it was a good idea to move house. I was a bit surprised that Angela also thought it was a good idea. I was kind of hoping she might talk me out of it, but she didn't. So in May 2024 we relocated, and for me, apart from the actual move, it meant clearing the existing workshop and installing a new one at the new house. At the time, the new house did not have a building suitable for conversion to a workshop. So the first project was actually to get a shell erected in which I could then begin to play. Really, on economic grounds, I decided that a precast concrete structure placed actually on a reinforced concrete base for a bit of stability was the way to go. I knew I'd be attaching things all over the walls, etc. So the first job, in fact, was to line the new structure out throughout with plywood. So the 8x6 sheets of plywood were ordered and duly delivered, and eventually by me erected using special clips that were supplied, erected onto the walls of the precast concrete structure. The new building has a steel up and over door at one end and a steel side door as shown in this little bit of video here. So one of the first jobs, in fact, was to put some foil backed insulation to those two doors to start to retain a bit of heat. Clearly the workshop needs its own electrical power, and this is provided by a 6mm squared steel wire armoured cable from a new consumer unit fitted inside the house itself. The workshop then has its own, if you like, sub-consumer unit, which is protected by a, in the video, red rotary isolation switch, so you can just kill the lot. The lathe and the milling machine have their own independent 30 amp, I think they were, circuits which drive the inverters to provide the three-phase electricity for the motors on the mill and the lathe. Lighting is clearly very important, and apart from sort of independent lights on each machine, there are independently switched 3 fluorescent tubes along the length of the workshop. There are also 20 3-pin socket outlets scattered about the workshop for the purposes of plugging supplementary lights and other small machine tools into the power supply, etc. As far as possible, as far as practicable, I've tried to put things in the new workshop in similar relative positions, locations as per the previous workshop. In this way, I hope to have a slightly better chance of remembering where things are. To press, it's not necessarily working very well, but we're trying. I dare say all this looks a bit of a mess, but candidly it's sort of what I've got used to from the previous workshop, the old workshop. So as I said, I've tried to stick to the same relative locations as far as possible. I have found it to be a good idea to put some of the machines on little trolleys so they can be pulled about when they needed to be used. So that applies to the bandsaw shown here, and also the very heavy powered hacksaw, so that I can just pull them into locations where they can be used. I've also got a little metal trolley where some of the stocks of metal have been put in, because that gets quite heavy, so that can be pulled about as well. I've always found that storing metal in the workshop to be a bit problematical, both in terms of sort of keeping rust at bay, but also the steel sections and brass sections tend to be all different sizes, and you get quite a lot of weight build up. And at the moment it's all a bit of a mishmash, frankly, but probably over time I'll try and rationalise a bit so that sections of the same sort of size are kept in the same place, but who knows. So now I have to find one or more projects to get my attention before the Grim Reaper comes and takes me down to you know where. I think the first one I'll try actually is I'll try and progress the freelance 084 I started way back. Of course, the other thing that's exercising my mind, and I have a feeling Angela's not too thrilled at the prospect, is to create a garden railway in the new place. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it was of some interest, and assuming I get something going, I hope to put another video up sometime before Christmas. Who knows? Thank you.